Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, if you can hear me, then please confirm in the class. Please, you can type on the chat. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So after a long time, today we are going to start book 3. And I hope those who were taking my classes since past when we started with book 1 and book 2, they must have revised whatever we have done, because book 3 is going to um, we are going to talk about a lot of terminologies that we have done in book 1 and book 2, and your background knowledge is very important, what you have uh, done earlier. Okay, so now what I'm going to I'm not going to spend time as I have done earlier before when there was a long gap in the classes. I used to take some revision of previous chapters, and then I will go for the topic. But this time I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start straight away with book 3. Okay. Now, if you face any problem about my voice, if there is any disturbance or anything, you are free to type anything in the chat, Zoom chat, and inshallah, we will try to resolve that. I mentioned earlier, before I start with book 3, it was mentioned on the Telegram group that I will be starting book 1 as well, inshallah. And that will be very soon. I'm just finalizing, giving last touches to the some slides. And inshallah, we will be starting book 1 very soon. It will be once a week. Most likely it will be on Monday. And as of now, we are taking book 3 on Wednesdays and Thursdays, inshallah. Then book 1 will be on Mondays. So any of your friends and relatives, whoever is interested to start the course from book 1, please let them know. Very soon we are going to start book 1 as well. Okay. So let me go to the first some 1 or 2 slides I will just spend in revision. So this language that we are learning, Arabic language, our purpose is to understand this language such that when we read Quran on daily basis, we should be able to understand it. Okay. And also it should help you in conversation as well. So a language consists of words, you know that. And in Arabic word, and word is called al-kalima. Okay. The word is called al-kalima. Now, when the words they group together, then it forms a phrase, which in Arabic language, you call it as al-murakkab. Okay. So several words, they combine together to form a group of words, phrases, which in Arabic language it is called al-murakkab. And the phrases combine to form a meaningful phrase, a meaningful sentence, which is called al-jumla in Arabic language. Okay, so this you have learned earlier, al-jumla. Now, what are the different types of kalima? Okay, al-kalima, which means word, it could be ism, which normally is in English language, we say nouns or pronouns. Okay, it is ism, and fi'l, which is normally we call it as verbs, and harf. Okay, so ism, fi'l, harf. So words can be any of these. Words can be al-kalima could be ism, al-kalima could be fi'l, or al-kalima could be harf. Fine. Now, so what is ism? If you want to answer any of my questions, you can answer by typing in the chat. Ism have 4 properties. I used to mention this frequently in my previous classes. So ism have 4 properties. Can any one of you name them? If possible, I would prefer to have their names in Arabic. If not, you can type English also, no issues. I mean, English translation also, no issues. But I would prefer your answer to be in Arabic. Okay. So what are the 4 properties of ism? Ism have 4 properties in it. What are they? Any answers? Okay. Adad? Yes. Numbers. Qism, jins, i'rab. Very good. Excellent. So alhamdulillah, yeah, that's good. So, now ism consists of al-i'rab, jins, adad, and qism. Okay, these are the 4 properties of ism. Now, i'rab, what are 3 types of i'rab? I'rab could be arafa, nasab, jar. I'rab could be arafa, nasab, jar. Okay, so these are the status positions of the word in a sentence. So when a word appears in a sentence, it can be in the position of rafa. When it is in the position of rafa, then that word is called marfu'. Okay. And the word can appear in a sentence and its positional location could be nasb, and those words which are in this position are called mansub. And the word can occupy the position of jar, and those words are called majroor. Okay? Arafa, nasab, and jar. Jins, gender, which it is al-muzakkar and al-muannas. Masculine, feminine. Muzakkar, masculine, muannas, feminine. Okay? Adad, usually in English language, there is, when it comes to numbers, it's singular and plural. Singular means 1, and anything more than 1 are plural. Arabic language categorizes words into 3 categories. which is mufrad, which means singular, muthanna, which means dual, and jama, which means plural. So Arabic language have special category for two. Okay, mufrad, muthanna, and jama. Qism, qism means ma'arfa or nakira, means proper or common. Okay, qism is ma'arfa or nakira. Now these four properties are, you have to remember them. You have to remember always. Okay. Now I'm going to go straight away to the chapter number 1 of this book. Ad-Darsul Awwalu. The title of this chapter is AlAe'rabu wal-Bina'u. Okay. AlAe'rabu wal-Bina. So Al-I'rab, you already know this. Okay. Now you may find that you know many of these things, but we will go more deeper into this lesson with using proper grammatical terminologies. You already know many of these things if you have revised and if you remember things that have been taught to you in book 1 and book 2. Okay. So al-i'rab, what is al-i'rab? Al-i'rab, it is from a'raba yu'ribu. Al-i'rab, it is from a'raba yu'ribu. Now, can anyone tell me this a'raba yu'ribu belongs to which bab? Okay, can anyone tell me a'raba yu'ribu belongs to which bab? It is, as you were taught earlier, there is only one bab that was taught to you which starts with Hamza. Okay. A'raba yu'ribu, there was only one bab that which was taught to you in Sarf classes, which starts with Hamza. And this also starts with Hamza. A'raba yu'ribu. No one remembers? Yeah, so yeah, that's correct. Aslama yuslimu. So this is the bab that was taught to you. Aslama yuslimu islaman fahuwa muslimun. Uslima yuslamu islaman fahuwa muslimun al-amru minhu. Aslim wa nahyu anhu la tuslim wa dharfu minhu muslamun. Okay. So a'raba yu'ribu is from this bab. So if we put these root letters into, which is ain, ra, and ba, into this bab, you will end up into this conjugation. You will end up into this conjugation, which is a'raba yu'ribu i'raban fahuwa mu'ribun. أعرب يعرب إعرابا فهو معرب. الأمر منه أعرب والنحي عنه لا تعرب والظرف منه معرب. Now, when you look at this conjugation, you will find some of the words that you have been using in the previous classes. What is the common words that you have been using a lot in this conjugation? What is the word that you, some of the words that you were using a lot? Okay. Now you were using a lot i'raban, and that's the title of this lesson, al-i'rabu. Okay. This is masdar, correct? I'raban. Okay, this is masdar. Now that's the title of this lesson, AlAe'rabu. Another word that you may find familiar in this is this word. And what is this word? What this Muslamun or Mu'rabun? This word is what? Is maf'ul. This is maf'ul. Now, brothers and sisters, if you do not remember these terminologies, you need to go back and listen to my surf classes, okay, which is available on YouTube channel. Okay, listen to the surf classes, otherwise you will find it difficult to understand. Okay, so now the another word that sounds familiar to you is mu'rabun. Mu'rabun. Okay, mu'rabun is maf'ul, means the word that occupies this that is in this place. It's that's the is maf'ul, mu'rabun. So this al-i'rab is from that word. Okay, you know the meaning of i'rab, and in grammatical terminology, i'rab is shows or reflects the status of the word in the sentence. Okay, it can occupy rafa, nasab, and jar. Then you understood? Okay. Now, what is the i'rab grammatically? The word changing its ending to indicate its status in a sentence. So as I mentioned, the end of noun, now we are dealing in with noun here, with ism here. The moment I'm talking about the subject of i'rab, I'm talking about ism here, okay? In this lesson, we are talking about i'rab of ism, okay? So the word or the kalima whose end changes, ending of the word, ending of the kalima changes to indicate its status in a sentence. Now this is called declension. Declensions are those words that decline. Now, what do you mean by decline? The word can have a higher status in a sentence called rafa, and it can have a middle status in a sentence called nasab, and it can have a lower status in a sentence called jar. What is declensions? The word can decline from rafa to nasab, nasab to jar. So it changes. Okay, these are called declensions. So in this lesson, we are going to in fact revise as well as go into more depth, because you more deep, because because you are going to learn more, which you already know about it. Al-i'rab means the words that will decline. Okay, and what is the second part of the title of this chapter? Wal-bina'u. So i'rab are those words that will decline. Now, wal bina'u is exactly opposite of that, which means those that will not decline. Wal bina'u means and bina, which al bina'u as those which will not decline. Now, what is al bina'u? It is from bana yabni. It is from bana yabni, and it is from bab daraba, which is daraba yadribu darban fahuwa daribun, duriba yudrabu darban fahuwa madrubun, al-amru minhu idrib, والنهي عنه لا تضرب, والظرف منه مضرب. Then, okay, this is the bab from which this word comes. Okay, let's do the conjugation of this. Let's do the conjugation of this. So this is the conjugation of that bab. Bana yabni bina'an fahuwa banin, yubniya yubna bina'an fahuwa mabniyun, al-amru minhu ibni wa nahyu anhu la tubni wa dharfu minhu binayatun. Okay, this is the conjugation of this word. Now here the masdar is bina'an, and from this word comes, and this is the masdar, which is albina'u. Okay, and mabni, you have been using this word a lot, which is ism maf'ul. So in this lesson we are going to talk about those words that will decline and those words that will not decline, and we use the word for that as mabni. Those words that do not decline are mabniyun, and those words that decline are what? These are i'rab. Okay, now, so and they are called mu'rab. Those that i'rab, which those words that decline, they are called mu'rab. Okay, so ism can can be mu'rab and it can be mabni. Ism can be mu'rab or it can be mabni. Mu'rab means it is occupying the position, and mu'rab means it has the tendency to decline, and mabni means it has no tendency to it doesn't declines. Okay, it remains rigid, it remains same. Now let's open lesson 1. Okay, and fil asma'i, and the nouns. Okay, is al asma is the plural of ism. الاسم إما معرب وإما مبني. What does it mean? The ism is either mu'rab or mabni, which is what I mentioned in my previous slide. It is either mu'rab or mabni. What is the second line? فالمعرب, so the mu'rab are those ما تغير آخره بسبب العامل نحو. Now, what does this sentence mean? Okay, ما تغير المعرب ما تغير آخره بسبب العامل. Now, the word ما here is like الذي, which is, you have learned this in the previous books. الذي, which means that or which in a sentence. So this is فعل تغير, فعل المضارع. آخره, so any ism that comes after فعل is فاعل. آخره, this is مضاف مضاف إليه. Okay, the end of which, so mu'rab is that, or mu'rab are those words, or mu'rab is the word. تغير means that which changes, is the one that changes. What changes? آخره, its end changes. So تغير, what is the file? The end of it changes, end of it. So this indicates file. بسبب العامل. What is amil? Amil, you can call it as an agent. Okay, you will understand this in an example better way. So amil is something in the sentence or something in the jumla that affects the ending of ism, that affects the ending of ism. So what can be amil? Amil can be anything. Amil can be harf, amil can be fi'l, or amil can be zarf, anything. Now let's take an example and you will know, you will understand from the example. So if I want to translate this whole sentence in the normal English, how I will say al-mu'rab. Al-mu'rab is a noun whose ending changes due to amil. Due to amil. So in the normal English, I will say al-mu'rab is a noun whose ending changes due to amil, means something due to some grammatical reasons. Okay, due to some grammatical reasons. And that amil, you will understand what exactly that amil is. So let's take an example. Ja al mudarrisu. Ja'al mudarrisu. The teacher came. The teacher came. Now, you know that very well that ja'a is fi'lul madi. Ja'a is fi'lul madi. It is fi'lul madi. And al mudarrisu is file. So that is why, and file is always marfu. File is always marfu. So this is in the status of rafa. Al mudarrisu is in the status of rafa. Why it became, it went into the status of rafa? What is the reason that caused it to become rafa? Any answer? What is the reason that it caused it to become rafa? What is in the sentence that made it? It is because of fail. Yes, ja'a. It is because of fail. So what is amil here? In this sentence, what is amil here? So you look at this explanation. Al murab is those nouns whose ending changes due to amil. So amil is ja'a here. So here it is fail. As I mentioned, amil can be harf, it can be fail, it can be zarf. Okay. So here in this case, it is, what is it? It is fail. In the same way, we'll take another example. Sa'altul mudarrisa. Now see, brothers and sisters, it's very easy if you know all these things because you have already learned it. Now we are more talking about terminologies here and more structured learning. Okay. So we have already covered this in the previous books. Okay. We were always moving forward. Okay. So Sa'altul mudarrisa. Okay. I asked the teacher. Sa'altu. What is Sa'altu? What is Sa'altu? Okay. It is fail fa'il. Okay. Okay. Sa'altu. It is fail. It is combination of fail file. Okay. Tu indicates the file. Okay. Means I. It is indicating the first person. Okay. I asked the teacher. So what is al mudarrisa? Why it became mansub? It is in the status of nasab. Why it became mansub? Any reason? You remember, brothers and sisters? Why al mudarrisa here? It is maf'ul bihi. Very good. It is maf'ul bihi. Now, what caused this to become nasab? What caused this to become mansub? The amil. What is the amil here? Again, fi'l here. Sa'altu. That is the amil. Okay? That is the fi'l. So another example. Sallamtu ala al-mudarrisi. Sallamtu ala al-mudarrisi. What is the meaning of this? I did salam to the teacher, or in normal English, I would say I greeted the teacher because the Islamic greeting is salam. So that's why the word sallamtu is used here. Okay, that's fi'l. Sallamtu ala al-mudarrisi. Now, al-mudarris is in the status of jar. It is majroor. What caused this to become majroor? As the system mentioned here, it's majroor. Why it became is majroor? Because of harfu jar. So what is amil here? Amil is ala here. It is harf. Amil is ala here. Is it clear, brothers and sisters? So this is how you already know this, but now we are going to understand this with grammatical terminologies. Ja al mudarrisu. Now, since we are talking about mu'rab, and so my focus is always these ism, which is changing its status in a sentence, how will I call the position of al-mudarris in a sentence? I will call it as fa'ilun marfu'un. It is fa'il, it is marfu, wa alamatul raf'ihi, and its sign, its marker of rafa. Alama means a sign or marker, indication. Okay, that is alamat. Okay, alama, this is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Alamatul rafihi al dammatu. What is the sign that indicates that it is rafa? Is al dammatu. That is the terminology how you will, the people who deal with Arabic language, Arabic grammar, they will call this. So, brothers and sisters, if you look at the analysis of Quran, the grammatical analysis of Quran, which is available, you will find it on in many Quran applications and on Quran website. You will find that when you click on any word, you select any word, you'll find the grammatical, it's grammatically that word is explained in that ayah. Now this is how it is explained. So as I'm explaining, so from now onwards, start using such terminologies so that you will gain practice. And in future, inshallah, when you will go and try to do the grammatical analysis, looking at different verses in Quran, then you will your understanding will be very well in that. Okay. So al-mudarris is fa'ilun marfu'un wa alamatu rafi'ihi al-dammatu. Okay. Now let's take the second example. Sa'altul mudarrisa. Sa'altul mudarrisa. Now, can you do the grammatical analysis of this? How will you call it? Try to do some practice. Try to give your answers in the chat. How will you call the position of al-mudarris in this sentence? How will you call? So here you call it is file, and then you talked about its status, marfu, and then you talked about the alamat, the marker of that. Yes, so it is maf'ul bihi. You can, yes, you are right, sister. So maf'ul bihi mansubun. It is masab. You missed to mention that, but you understood the concept. That's good, sister. That's sufficient. That's what I like. Maf'ul bihi mansubun wa alamatun nasbihi al fathatu. Okay, wa alamatun nasbihi al fathatu. Okay. Now, here, if I want to say that this changed due to amil, and what is that amil is fail. How will I say that? I will say تغيروا بسبب العامل وهو الفعل. I would say it changes due to amil. Yeah, it changes due to amil. And what is that amil is? It is fail, it is sa'altu. Correct? That's how I will say it. Okay. I'm just giving you for practice. We will use such Arabic way of calling the status and describing the status of a word in a sentence. Understood, brothers and sisters? Did you understood this? Okay. If you have any difficulty, feel free to ask. Now let me go to the last sentence. Sallamtu ala al-mudarrisi. Sallamtu ala al-mudarrisi. Okay, please do the analysis of this. So this is a very simple one. Okay. This is a very simple one. So I would say, okay. So this is ismun majrurun. Okay. Wa alamatun jarrihi al kasratu. Okay. It's ism majroor and its sign of jar is al kasra. Okay. Again, if I want to explain this grammatically, how will I say تغير بسبب العامل وهو حرف الجر? That's how I will say, correct? تغيروا بسبب العامل وهو حرف الجر. Understand? Is it clear, brothers and sisters? Is it becoming too hard for you? If some of you cannot understand these, no problem. What is important to know is uh, so brothers and sisters, you can refer to the classes, okay, the recordings on the YouTube. So this is murab. Now let's go back to Mabni. Let's go to Mabni. Now you know these Mabni. Now it is exactly opposite to mu'rab. And what is that? ما لا يتغير آخره بسبب العامل means it is, again ma here means الذي, okay, it doesn't change, its end doesn't changes due to amil. Its end doesn't changes due to amil. Okay, brothers and sisters, its end doesn't changes due to amil. It is a noun. Mabni is a noun whose ending do not change due to agent or due to amil for some grammatical reasons. Now let me give you some of the example. Okay, جاء هؤلاء. جاء هؤلاء. The moment I'm now ja'a again came, it means came. Now what does it mean? Ja'a is these ja'a haulai means these people they came. Okay, these came. Okay, so here file is haulai, and haulai is occupying which place in a sentence? Haulai is occupying which? It is file. So it is occupying which place in a sentence? What is the position of haulai in a sentence, brothers and sisters? What is the position? So imagine these words have certain positions, like you have positions in a company, in an organization, in a corporate. So different people have different positions. So in the same way, words they have certain status in the sentence. So what is the position of haulai? Yeah, it is fine. So what is the position of it? Yes, it is mabni. Yes, but I'm asking about the position. Yeah, so it is in the position of, you will not call it, yeah, it is marfu. Yes, you are right, but it is occupying the position of rafa. It is occupying the position of rafa. So the moment you talk about mabni, grammatically, what you cannot call it as marfu, brothers and sisters. What you can say is it is occupying the position of rafa. And in Arabic language, you must have remembered we were using this terminology frequently. Fi mahalli raf'in. Very good. Fi mahalli raf'in. Okay, brothers and sisters? Fi mahalli rafin means haulai is in a position of rafa. And it did not change due to amil ja'a. Ma la yataghayyaru akhiru. Okay, it did not change because of amil. Because haulai will remain haulai in all the positions and all the situations. In the same way, sa'altu haulai. Now here it is in the position of nasab. So we will call it as fi mahalli nasbin. Fi mahalli nasbin. And the amil here is again sa'altu. Okay. And in the third example, sallamtu ala ha'ula'i. This is in fi mahalli jarrin. This is how you will call it. Fi mahalli jarrin. How will you do the grammatical? How will you describe them grammatically? For example, ja'a ha'ulaihi. How will you call it grammatically? Ha'ulai, the position of ha'ulai. How will you describe? Fi mahalli raf'in fa'ilun. It is fa'il, correct? Mabniyun. Mabni ala al-kasrati. Now you will say, why, brother, sir, why you are calling alal kasrati? Why? Because we are looking always the ending of the word. We are always looking the ending of the word. Now, ha'ula'i is mabni. It is always ending with kasra. So even if it is rafa, it is ending with kasra. Nasab, it is kasra. Jar, it is kasra. So it says as if you can, what does it mean? That it is mabni, it will never change. It is mabni, though it is in the status of rafa, but it is mabni ala al-kasrati. That's how you will call it. It is mabni ala al-kasrati. Now, ra'aytu ha'ula'i. How will you call ha'ula'i here? How will you describe ha'ula'i here? Anyone? How will you describe ha'ula'i in this sentence? في محل نصب مفعول به. So here we called fa'ilun maf'ulun bihi. Here it is maf'ul bihi, right? Maf'ulun bihi. Again mabniyun. Mabniyun alal kasrati again. Okay. في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على الكسرة. Okay. Now this did not change. لم يتغير مع تغير العامل. Okay. It did not change. Did not change with the change of amil. Okay. Due to amil. It did not change. Okay. سلمت على هؤلاء. Now how will you describe هؤلاء here? How will you describe the position of هؤلاء here? Yes, very good, sister. You can call في محل جر. Yeah, you can say اسم مجرور مبني على الكسرة. في محل جر مبني على الكسرة. Yeah, that's your that you are also right, sister Nilofer. Okay. Now this also didn't change because of mabni. Okay, لم يتغير مع تغير العامل. Okay, due to the change in amil, هؤلاء did not change. It was mabni in all the three situations. Understood, brothers and sisters? Can I go to the next? Okay. Now al-mu'rab wa mabni. Okay. Al-asma'u al-mu'rabu wal mabniu min al-asma'i. Okay, that's the topic of the next part in the chapter. Now here the author says al-asma'u kulluha mu'rabatun. What does it mean? Al-asma'u kulluha mu'rabatun. What does it mean, brothers and sisters? This part only what I have read. No, you should know Arabic. These are very simple things I am asking you to give you practice. What does it mean? Is it that difficult? Only this part. Al-asma'u kulluha mu'rabatun. All nouns, yes, that's good, are mu'rab. Very, very good. Now I want to ask you a question. Why this mu'rab is written as, now he's talking about collective nouns. He's not talking about one ism, al-asma. And why this is singular mu'rabatun? And why it is saying kulluha, this is singular feminine. Why? Can anyone give me explanation to that? Ah, غير عقل, yes, jama غير عقل. Very good. So when it is jama غير عقل, it is referred singular feminine. Very good. So the author says all the nouns are actually mu'rab, means they have the tendency to decline. They have the tendency to decline. Ma'adal fi'ati latiya. Now I will explain. What is al fi'ati? It is plural of fi'atun, which means categories. Okay, al fi'ati means categories or groups. Now, what is ma'ada? Now, let me explain. This is not explained by anyone, by the way, in the by author also. Okay, what is ma'ada? Because I'm going into each and every word and sentence because I want you. This is how to build up your practice. Ma'ada. What is ma'ada here? Now, ma'ada is generally used in spoken in Arabic, written English. It's used in the sentences. Ma'ada, it is commonly used, and it is always followed by ism mansoob. So usually after ma'ada comes ism mansoob. And what does ma'ada means? It means accept. Ma'ada means accept. So for example, if I say hadarat tullabu kulluhum ma'ada hamidan. So as I mentioned, it is usually followed by ism mansoob. So you see here hamidan. This is mansoob. So what does this sentence means? Hadarat tullabu kulluhum ma'ada hamidan. What does it mean? All the students were present. Hadara is fi'l al-madi. All the students were present except Hamid. Correct? All the students were present except Hamid. All the students except Hamid were present. Understand? That's the meaning of ma'ada. So the